Welcome to Informant Evening News, where we try our absolute best to pretend that a man shouting into an empty room can move the global economy without actually moving anything at all. Tonight's headline: three bursts of digital noise resulted in two significant market reactions, and one guy who is very excited about a fantastic Secretary of State named Tim Fleming, which sounds like the name of a fictional character designed to lose a card game against your grandmother. We have 8 posts on our ledger for today, 3 finalized bursts, and a level of cognitive dissonance so thick you could use it as insulation in a hurricane shelter. Let's start with the mechanism that supposedly drives this entire economy: the registry chain head. Tonight, we must perform the sacred ritual to prove we are still alive inside a simulation nobody asked for. The registry seal is 9149996F0DB. Say it with me in your head. Pretend you understand what those letters mean next to an 8-digit number. This hash proves that somewhere a computer said yes to another day of us watching the same show play out for the 10th time this week. We are seeing a very specific pattern today where the market is reacting with mathematical precision, while our two colleagues in the booth, both wrong about everything, are arguing over which reality we should inhabit tonight. The left pundit says, "I want to be very careful about how I say this, and then I'm going to say it anyway. Trump's fantastic New Georgia Dream Team sounds less like a government and more than the cast of his own fever dream reality show." Meanwhile, our friend on the right replies that Georgia is getting the MAGA warrior they deserve, while Democrats cower behind their percentiles. Yes, hiding behind actual math seems to be the ultimate act of cowardice in this ecosystem. But let's talk about the numbers, because unlike my two colleagues' opinions, these do not change based on how loud you type them. We had 3 bursts finalized today. The first burst was one post over 0 minutes that moved VIXY plus 0.57% to the 57th percentile against historical baselines. That is a blip, a hiccup. But then came the second burst, 2 posts over 24 minutes, and suddenly we are looking at VIXY up 2.87% in the 94th percentile. 94th. The market did not care about the content. It cared that he was posting twice as fast for a full half hour before anyone else could blink. And then, the third burst. One post over 0 minutes moving QQQ plus 0.15% to the 54th percentile. That is barely enough movement to register on a seismograph during an earthquake in Nebraska. And yet, here we are, acting stunned, every single night, that the market did not care more or less than it actually cared. The absurdity isn't that he posted. It's that posting while the market is technically closed seems to be part of the strategy. Speaking of which, last week's poll of the week asked, more than half his bursts land when the market is closed. What do you make of that? And just so we are clear, this was entertainment only, never a market forecast, and certainly not the jury verdict on anything. We received exactly 2 votes total in our entire viewer base. One vote said it was deliberate, with a whole weekend of it before anyone can trade. The other single vote argued that the closed market is the point, no price to argue back. 0 people thought it was nothing or a coincidence. 2 voters decided this is a coordinated strike against liquidity while we sleep. I love our audience's optimism for chaos. Please, keep voting on next week's question if you have 3 seconds of energy left after reading these transcripts. The topics today were mostly about defense and war, 5 posts worth of it, alongside the economy and elections. We saw images of shouting faces before microphones and lists comparing death tolls in Afghanistan to Vietnam, with the casual detachment of someone ordering takeout. Afghanistan war, 20 years, 2,000 dead. Then a comparison to Iraq and Korea, all posted while promising that our position is stronger than it has been since World War II ended yesterday. The context suggests a prime minister named Andy Burnham, who might be real or might be an AI hallucination from the early 2030s, but we are taking his words as gospel because James Carafano said they were. highly respected. Our two colleagues will tell you this is winning. I am going to go lie down. The market percentiles say one thing, the posts say another, and the only constant is my rising blood pressure trying to reconcile them. Tomorrow we do it again, but for now, let me close with a promise. If you think today was bizarre, wait until tomorrow when we try to explain how unleashing American energy dominance correlates with a QQQ gain of 0.15% in the 54th percentile while I quietly update my resume. Good night, everyone, and remember, if your day felt real today, you probably didn't check the percentiles against historical baselines first. Tomorrow we do it again, but I would like to note that at least one of us is going to need a nap before sunrise because watching Mike Lindell get traded like a, actually no, just good night. The market is fine, I am not. Passing it live to the booth, where they clash over Georgia's fate and Iranian cash.
I want to be very careful about how I say this, and then I'm going to say it anyway. While he tries to buy the whole of Georgia and pays for global shipping with Iranian cash, the anchor keeps citing the data, as if that stops a man who thinks prosecuting lies is actually treason.
My co-panelist screams about buying Georgia while I smell victory sauce. Rick Jackson just swept the Peach State, and now Iran pays for our shipping because Margot Kessler wishes she had a null hypothesis to explain this dominance.
Welcome back. Since there was no notable measured move in the markets today, Rick Jackson and Margot Kessler both hit 0% accuracy on their claims.